If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, you can film and still get views filming with your phone. This phone gave me 10K views on a single video. This phone gave me a lot of subscribers with that video. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you really don't have an excuse to not film in 2025. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. My name is Rich Lab, and this is my second YouTube channel dedicated to sharing everything that has to do with content creation here on YouTube. Judging by the title of today's video, you obviously know what we are going to be talking about: how to make YouTube videos filming with your phone. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, you can film and still get views filming with your phone. So the first thing that I would definitely consider when I'm filming with my phone is to film with your back camera. Like, that's a no-brainer. Always film with your back camera. And before you even press record, before you even start filming with your phone, you want to clean the lens of the phone, because that makes a huge difference. Sometimes we might be holding our phones and there are thumbprints, there are certain things that may settle on the screen or on the lens of the camera of our phones, and you want to clear that off before you start pressing record or before you start filming your video. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the type of phone you're using. Obviously, the type of phone you're using is definitely going to affect the quality of the videos you are putting out. This is an iPhone 6s. There was nothing I could do about it because I didn't have the cash to invest in getting another phone or another camera or another device to film with. So if this is you, use what you have, but be looking at different ways of improving on the device or the phone that you're using to film, if it is relatively a low quality phone, because this is going to limit the things that you're going to be able to do with this phone compared to like a higher version of this phone. For example, if you want to get a blurry background, you obviously not be able to do that filming with this phone compared to, let's say, you're filming with a higher version of a Samsung or a higher version of an iPhone. I want to talk about the settings. When I was filming with this phone, I think the highest resolution I could film with is 1080p at 60 frames per second. When you go to your iPhone, you want to look for settings. And when you go to settings, you want to scroll down all the way down to camera. Now, when you see camera, you want to tap on it and you would see video, you would see slow-mo, you would see different types of settings. So you want to go to record video, and under record video you're going to see different resolutions, and so the higher the resolution, the higher the quality of the video you're going to get. And you also want to bear in mind that the higher the resolution, the higher the storage or the higher the space your video is going to take. So if the highest resolution on your phone is 1080p at 60 frames per second, by all means use that. Don't use 720p at 60 frames per second. The highest you want to go for is 1080p, 4K, and stuff like that. I film in 4K at 30 frames per second compared to filming in 4K at 60 frames per second, because 4K at 60 frames per second takes much storage and much space compared to 4K at 30 frames per second. So moving on to record slow-mo, you also want to use the highest resolution for record slow-mo, and you want to turn on, there are certain settings that I usually turn on. For the format, I use the most compatible because I want to save space. If you have more space, you can definitely use highest efficiency or high efficiency. You also want to turn on your grid. Grids are the two vertical lines and two horizontal lines you see when you are filming a video. So when you turn on the grid setting, you are going to see that once you turn on your camera and you start recording your video. And what this does is it just helps you to know you are in frame, you are within frame, and also helps with, there's this thing called the rule of thirds, and it's basically a theory in photography or videography where you want to position you, the subject. In this case, if you're making a sit down video like this, you want to position you, the subject, within any of these three lines or any of these two intersections of the line. That's how you get a really good frame. The next thing is lighting, and for lighting you have different options. You can choose to use your sunlight, which is what I'm using right now. I'm filming at daytime, So I'm opting to use daylight. You can also decide to use a ring light or an LED light. So I personally have this LED light from Godox, and yeah, it serves me well. I honestly don't use this as much because I prefer the sunlight, and I only tend to use this when I'm filming, let's say at night or in the evening, where I definitely will need artificial lights because obviously the sunlight wouldn't be available. I also have an 18-inch ring light that I use in conjunction with this LED light. So yeah, if you don't honestly have the budget to invest in lighting right now, sunlight is your best bet. So if you have a really big window in your room, you want to use that. If you have a door, anything that just allows a lot of light into your room, you want to position your camera right opposite it and sit opposite that source of light so it sheds that brightness over you and over the filming device, in this case your phone. And I find that filming between the hours of 9 to, let's say, 11:30, when the sun is out but not harsh, is perfect, or between the hours of 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. when the sun isn't as harsh, is also really, really good for getting that soft looking feel on your videos. Another trick that I use when I am thinking of different ways to improvise with lighting is to do your own DIY. Good old DIY will never fail you. So these are basically normal light bulbs that we use in our homes every single day, and I just told them to attach these cords to it. I plug this into my power outlet and then I turn these on. So it turns on, and I use this for background lights. So for example, if I'm filming in the evenings, let's say I'm making a TikTok video or a TikTok tutorial, or I'm just doing even a sit down video like this, and I want to add a little, vavavoom to my videos or to my background, I definitely use these, and you can use this. Obviously, you can't talk about quality without talking about audio. I basically use this wireless microphone that I got, I think, about a year ago, and it has served me well. I think the audio is decent, but it's not like perfect audio because sometimes it messes with the background noise a little bit. So I have to find different ways and means to enhance the audio, but this gives me quality audio. If you don't have the funds to invest in audio at the moment, you can get a friend's phone or a relative's phone and you use that to record your voice. So as I'm holding this microphone right now, imagine this was a phone. So you take a friend's phone, a relative's phone, and you use the voice memo. In this case, if you're using an iPhone, you can use the voice memo. If you're using any other Android, you can use the recording feature or app on that phone, the inbuilt one, and you can use that to record your sound and you're good to go, honestly. As when it comes to editing, first of all, let's talk about the apps. There are free versions and then there are paid versions. So I use CapCut, I use the free version. I use Canva, I use the free version. There are different video editing apps. We have InShot, we have Kine. Is it Kine or Keen? We have Keen Master, we have InShot, we have, with the paid ones, we have Adobe Premiere Pro, we have Final Cut Pro, there are different types of apps. You just have to find which one works for you. And I would highly recommend, if you're a beginner, I would highly recommend using CapCut, trying out CapCut if you haven't. But CapCut is a really good video editing app for beginners. And when I first started doing YouTube, when I first started editing my videos, CapCut was my go-to. The interface is user-friendly, beginner-friendly, easy to understand, simple to explore, and just help you to, have decent editing overall. If you're looking for ways to edit your thumbnails as well, I would highly recommend Canva. You can edit your videos in Canva, you can edit your thumbnails in Canva as well. So be sure to check them out. Any type of phone that you're using, CapCut is compatible with iOS and Android. Canva as well is compatible with iOS and Android. So be sure to check both of them out as well. So the next thing is tripod, or a way to stabilize your phone. You don't want your video to be shaky. As I'm filming with you right now, you can obviously tell that my filming device is well stabilized. Doesn't really matter what you're using to stabilize it, but once you are in focus, it's not shaky. People can still make you out. you are good to go. And I started off using books. I would stack books on a table. I gradually transitioned to using this tripod. This is what I was using when I first started filming. I think I ordered this from Jumia. I can tell by how small and lightweight it is that it's of very low quality. But yeah, I was using that for quite some time. This is the tripod that I currently use after I stopped using the other one. I also recently got this because I wanted something that was very mobile that I could, just whip up and start filming with. And this I find is very, very helpful, especially if you want to, vlog, you're thinking of vlogging and you want to be moving around a lot. This is very practical. So the next thing I want to talk about is your background or your backdrop. Some people like to use a bare backdrop or a bare background, which is fine, especially if you just want to put focus on yourself as the main subject of the video. You don't want to be causing too much distractions around. I have my plants here and that's my door, and that's just it. I'm not using any form of external back. Well, my frame is also serving as a backdrop in this case, but it's always here. It's not really because of this video that I place it here. So you can just use like a plain background. You just have to make sure that you are not seated very, very close to the wall, because it just gives this type of feel. I don't know how to explain it, but you want to be seated at least an arm length away from the wall, which makes it looks very professional and more, put together, and makes the whole video look more high quality than the opposite, if that makes sense. So the next thing is to film in airplane mode. It's so annoying when you're filming a video and you get a text or you get a call. You don't want to have that. You don't want to get interrupted in your flow, and that's going to help you stay focused on the video you're making. So the last thing I want to leave with you in this video is that beyond, editing, beyond settings, beyond tripod and everything, you also want to think about the quality of your content itself. You want to put out quality content. You want to invest some time in, doing your research, some time in putting down what you're going to say. I'm not saying script if you don't want to, but just put your points down so that it makes the content creation process easier. And yeah, do that and enjoy the process. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video. And if you have any tips that you personally do to improve the quality of your videos, let us hear it, because I definitely want to learn from you as well. My name is Rich Love, and I'll see you in the next video.